So my name is Frank. I live in Boyle Heights. I'm 29 years old and I'm a hairstylist. My hands were always in the hair, like whether it was like playing with my sister's hair, playing with my cousin's hair, um, or watching my parents or my mom do her hair, my aunts and uncles do their hair. So it was always something that was like in the back of my mind, and it still is today, regardless of what like my career and what I do. When I'm not doing hair, I'm doing hair in my head. I watched a documentary about Vidal Sassoon, and that's when it kind of clicked. I was like, oh my God, like this man did like a bunch of incredible things and I want to be a part of that. And so I just Googled Vidal Sassoon. I had no idea there was a school even. And I started cutting hair at Vidal Sassoon, which is like crazy to think about. Like when I first learned about the company, I was like, wow, this is something that maybe one day I can be a part of. And like going through the program and being a stylist was like a dream come true. So after that, I mean, I had been working for the company for 6 years, and unfortunately, COVID is what kind of stopped it. My salon was closed, and there weren't really many other options because the company was. I mean, everyone was doing really bad is doing really bad during this time, and so it cut my career with them short. I really had no backup plan. My plan was working for Sassoon until I died because I loved it so much. I was so ingrained in it, and I loved just being a part of the culture. But that ended for me, and it forced me into doing other things. And so, what I'm doing now is I work independently. I am my own being and my own person now, and I cut hair out of a private studio.
This is the look.
This is the look. We're done. Thank you so much for coming. To me, it didn't feel like I said, it didn't feel like a goal I had. It felt like something I had to do to survive, or something that was a necessity, or else like I would have to move back with my parents and figure something out. I didn't want to go back to Orange County. I was kind of done with that. So yeah, that's kind of how I ended up here. When I was working at the salon, a lot of my clientele was just clients that knew the brand and wanted to come see someone that was Vidal Sassoon trained. And especially when being a director, it's like, okay, so you're like the best one. I'll just see you. So that's how a majority of my clientele was for the most of my career. Is just people that wanted nice hair, that didn't really come to see me because I was Frank and I did all these interesting things. It was almost like I had these two kind of things going on at the same time, like my professional like clientele where it was just like rich white people that wanted nice haircuts, and like my creative clientele that that saw my work online and wanted a part of that. So yeah, and when I left the salon, like 90% of my clientele stayed. None of them really, or I shouldn't say none. Most of them did not follow me back. So like I lost all of that, like my rich white people, you know. But because I was really consistent with, and at that point I had already like built a creative clientele, people that were like that looked more like me, that wanted to kind of be a part of this thing that I'm doing. Because what I posted online was really different what I was doing in the salon. And the salon was like conservative, like wealthy people that want to just look nice. And if you look at my work on like Instagram, you don't really see that. You see like people that look like me, people that look like you. You see creative things. I don't know. Like it was very different. You see more individuals on my salon. When I started working independently, and I had to leave the majority of my wealthy clientele. And I came here, I announced, okay, like I'm gonna be working in LA now, I'm gonna be based in Boyle Heights. Um, I, I had lots of people reach out saying, oh my God, I'm so excited you're in LA now. Like I've been following you for years. Orange County was too far for me, but now that you're here, I would love to get a haircut. And that was consistent. Like lots of people reached out, tell me the same thing.
My name is Mar. I'm 24. I live literally like around the corner here in Boyle Heights, and that's it.
I'm Jackie. I'm 30, and I also, well, we live together, so, so I live around the corner of Boyle Heights.
I'm Byron. I'm 31, and I live in Long Beach.
He's like an architect. He's not just trying to like make people look cute. It's like it's very structural. It's very
Individualized.
It's architectural. It's really incredible.
Yeah. Because I mean, even with my hair now, like he's cut my hair, and like the way he like plans it, like it's just like, at least from my experience, it's like this is where we're gonna cut, and then it's gonna like.
Yeah.
2 months later, my fro is like doing a very specific thing. I'm like, whoa, like you thought about this.
You like feel it. Usually, like either like I see people on the street, or like working places, or like on Instagram, like all those like crazy like Brazilian or like Dominican like barbershop pages, or like any like in MacArthur Park, I see what someone has. I'm always like looking and shit, and then I just bring them a picture of it, or like just like very esoteric like questions for him. I'm like, okay, well, what if I wanted to do this, but like it's usually like this script that I like have, and then like sitting here and I'm like giving him a really hard time when he starts, and then asking him too many questions. Like the process is usually like very convoluted, and he takes it like really nicely, and it always does a really fucking good job at the end. It's like, and then it's crazy because like it's always exactly like my weird ass prompt, but like he always executes it. Like I'll bring him like some crazy ass picture from like fucking 2003, and then he does it, and then like ask him to change it, he does it. So it's really cool.
I feel like I'm the opposite. I'm more like, and sometimes I feel kind of bad because he'll ask me questions and I'm like, I don't know, like what? And if anything, he makes me think about it more, because then I'm like, that's actually a really good question. I don't have an answer. Or sometimes like I'll look at the way my hair is and I'll show him a picture and it's not even of hair. It was like a cartoon body. Like it was so weird. And the thing is that he really did execute it really well. So he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like I just throw really obscure things at him and he just makes it work.
Yeah.
But also we both, because I don't know what I want, I think it kind of allows both of us to be like, what about this? What about this? Like when I bleached my eyebrows, or one time we bleached it and they were like, let's make it red instead. Sometimes I'm like, let's just cut it all off, and he's like, let's not. And then like
I think what my process is like, it's really just listening, being a good listener, giving people the time of day, and understanding that these people took the time out of the day and are giving you a certain amount of money to be able to have this sort of like experience. And so that to me is like, I think one of the most important aspects of my work is making people feel special, making them feel heard, taking what they're telling me and putting it into motion, as opposed to just being, yeah, okay, you want your hair short, cool. Lots of people, from what I like experienced, don't really, or never had access to a nice haircut. And what I mean by nice haircut is something that's more thoughtful, something that's made for them. Like I think what people are really looking for is being like, they want to be comfortable in their own skin, and they want to be able to feel comfortable with the person that's handling those kind of things. You know, hairstylists are like one of the few people that are like allowed in your little bubble. You have like your dentist, your doctor, and you have your hairstylist. And to be that close in proximity with someone, it's like you tend to open up, and you tend to like share a lot about yourself, and like I think clients notice that about my work. You know, when they're in my chair, the consultation doesn't end at the beginning. You know, the consultation continues throughout the entire haircut up until the very end, because I'm constantly talking to this person and trying to get any sort of like insight about them. Just because I mean, I want to know about the haircut, but I also want to know about this person, because they're a human being. I'm interested in them. I think for future, I definitely I have like this fantasy of like starting like a little like team. Um, I'm actually currently training a former assistant of mine to work with me. We would both be cutting hair, and um, I think that's something that I'm thinking about and actually kind of working towards. With triangular, it'll be more like this because you're taking this shorter and keeping a little bit of weight behind the ear. Round is just kind of tucking everything else in and keeping a little bit more of a head shape.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah, so for this, we're really just gonna focus on keeping it really lean.
And just start on this side?
Yeah, just on that side.
It's funny because I told myself like years ago when I first met Frank, I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to learn how to cut hair from Frank. And it just, I don't know, it just ended up happening. It's just weird how it like manifested. Like he reached out to me like a couple months ago and he asked me if I wanted to work under him at his new studio. My main goal is to work along with Frank here by his side and take clients, and I want to specialize in cut.
You can use this one.
Do people ever tell you they use your work as inspiration?
Yeah, oh my god.
Like from other hairdressers or like just clients?
A little bit of both actually.
That's cool.
Which is like, it's always so like flattering because like, I mean, I'm really proud of my work. I feel like my work motivates me because I just want to get better. But when other people feel like similar to that, I'm like, oh my god, like, thank you. In this whole like journey that I've gone through these last couple of years leading up to this point, like, I definitely I had a lot of like self growth that I had to like go through. I had a lot of letting go. I had a lot of sacrificing. There's a lot of hard work that went into doing this. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I sit here, I'm like, like this is lame. And it's like, well, no, you kind of have to think about your journey and like, you're not lame. You really worked for what you have to do. And without the people that sit in my chair, like I wouldn't have work to do. Without the support of my family, like financial wise, like I would not be able to pay for beauty school on my own working at Forever 21. Like, come on. So having the support of my parents, so many of my friends that get haircuts by me, so many of my friends that tell their friends about me, and that just like ongoing chain of people that come from people that are really close to me, you know, I'm so lucky. I think that I'm in a point now in my life where like I'm able to sit and reflect on so many things, and like it's easy to get caught up in, oh yes, my craft, my hairdressing thing, this is all me, but like it's more than that. It's the support of my family. It's their want for better. You know, it's the it's that drive to just to not feel like you have to stay in one place. And I'm so thankful for my friends and family and my clients for that. I have to give them a big thanks because I wouldn't be here without them.